Did you catch it? Did you notice? I didn't. There's a signature feature about these Air Max 95s, and I super didn't get it until I actually dug into the sneaker and researched it for this video. I didn't get it. I wonder if you got it at home. Also, there's a bunch on this sneaker that ties up to yesterday's video. Yesterday we did a video about the Nike Air Force 1 Black History Month, and here we are, the Nike Air Max 95 Black History Month. And there are tie-ups and similarities between that sneaker yesterday and today's sneaker today. Have you seen them? Did you notice them? That's what we're going to be looking at today. And you will know that you have nailed it with this video if you can name those commonalities between this sneaker and the Air Force 1 from yesterday, and if you know about that signature design feature that kinda, at first look, you don't really see, and then you're like, ooh, that's really interesting. And that's what we're gonna be doing today as we look at the Nike Air Max 95 Black History Month. This is Tokyo About It 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo About It 23 Sneaker Channel. Day is Mainichi Absoluno Day, Mainichi Media Design. Every single day we bring you content from Tokyo, Japan about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news and sneaker reviews. And today what we're looking at is the upcoming release on February the 19th of the Air Max 95 Black History Month. And talking about Black History Month, one of the rarest Black History Month sneakers of all time will be in hand at this channel on Sunday. We're talking about the Air Jordan 1 Dawn C White. It's clean. It's absolutely clean. Every Sunday, Shoe Butter brings one of his rare sneakers from his collection to the channel and shares that with us. And to celebrate Black History Month, that's what's coming this week. And that's why yesterday it was the Air Force 1 Black History Month. Today it's the Air Max 95 Black History Month. And tomorrow we'll be looking at the two Converse that are coming as well. So it's a real cracking celebration of Black History Month, and this channel is all about diversity, it's all about sharing, it's all about different points of view, it's all about different perspectives, it's all about being a safe place for people to share their differences, and it's all about equality and equity. So I totally appreciate sharing the story of Black History Month with you guys, and I'll also enjoy talking to you on Sunday about what it's like to live in one of the smallest minorities in the world, which I do here in Tokyo, Japan. But we'll save all that for Sunday's video. Now a quick word about links. I'm going to throw up a link to yesterday's video in a minute, but I realized recently that those links, after I've thrown them up, they stay there for the whole video, so you don't have to click on them in this 5 seconds that they're hanging about up here. If you want to see them, you can go click on that link anytime during the video. So I'm going to throw up a link to yesterday's video, doing, and that link will be there throughout this video for you guys to check out anytime you want to see yesterday's Air Force 1 Black History Month. And especially there's a tie-up between that sneaker and this sneaker. But before we do that, I'm not going to hang on to it any longer. We're just going to go straight in with the signature feature, and we're going to start on the heel of these guys. Now there's two things to think about when it comes to this heel right here. One is obvious, and the other one is obvious once you've seen it. Okay, now before you've seen it, it's not obvious. And maybe you're looking right now and you're thinking, but I can see the obvious. And the obvious is that the left is red and the right is blue. I think I'm right in saying that that's the colors on the heel here. And you're like, yeah, cool, so they have different colored heels on these guys. Yes, they do. But the not so obvious, maybe you haven't noticed it yet. Maybe you have, and you're like, butter, everybody knows that. But I didn't notice it, excuse me, until I researched the sneaker and had to look deeper into it. And it was, like I said, it was when I was looking at the heel, I was like, hold on a minute, that looks a bit... That's cool. Like I said, if you already got it, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But if after I say this, you're like, whoa, I had not noticed that, then let me know in the comments as well. So you're looking at the heel behind me here. You've got one heel in one color and the other heel the other color. Now what I want to focus on is I want to focus on the lateral, which is the outside edge of the sneakers, and the medial, which is the inside edge of the sneakers. Now usually on a pair of sneakers like these, what you would find is if the colors don't match up, that they have the same lateral, so the outside edge of both sneakers is blue and yellow, and then the medial, the inside edge, is green and pink, for example. But what's going on these guys, what's unique about these guys is that the lateral on one sneaker is the medial on the other. And then the medial on that sneaker is the lateral on the other. That's cool. That's really, really cool. I rarely see that, if ever, in sneakers. I've seen mismatched sneakers where the right and the left sneaker are complete opposites. Opposites as in a blue-grey and a grey-blue. I've seen it when they're totally different sneakers. There were a bunch of Air Force Ones that dropped late last year or early this year. Can't remember which. One was New York, and the other one was Los Angeles, and they were completely different sneakers. I might as well put a link to one of them up here. They were completely different sneakers. Totally different materials and designs on each sneaker. But what we've got going on here, which like I said, I haven't seen it before, maybe it's a thing that other people have seen, is that the lateral side on the left sneaker is the medial side on the right sneaker, and the medial side on the left sneaker is the lateral side on the right sneaker. I think that's really, really cool. And it was when I was, like I said, looking at the heels here, I was like, whoa, that is clean, that is fire, that is a really, really cool design element. So if you hadn't noticed that already, there you go. If you had noticed it already, congratulations. But anyway, there's other things going on in these sneakers, and like I said, there's a tie-up to yesterday's Air Force One Black History Month. And the first place I want to look on that is on the design of the total sneaker. Both sneakers were all about block colouring, and what I mean by that is that last year's Black History Month line was all about patterning, where the colours were woven together in a pattern design. For example, the Air Jordan 2s, doing, that link will be there at the end of the video if you want to watch it. So it's all about patterning, but this year it's all about blocks of colours, the same vibrant African themed colours, but instead of having them woven together in patterns, they're in blocks throughout the sneaker. And of course, in an Air Max 95, that's got a lot to do with the sort of layering horizontally throughout the sneaker. And in the case of these guys, that's exactly what you've got. Same as the Air Force Ones yesterday as well. I don't think I actually mentioned it in yesterday's video, but on the midfoot under the swoosh of the Air Force Ones was a random piece of mesh material. And then if you have a look through those layers on these Air Max 95s, you can see that the materials on there are quite diverse, and it's a mix-up of materials. It's not just all leathers, for example, or all suedes. There's a mix-up of materials in there as well, which is a link back to yesterday's Air Force One. But the major link up to yesterday's Air Force One for me is to do with yesterday's Air Force One's toe box, which had the panel on the front ripped off to reveal something underneath. And then in the case of these guys, you can see that they used to be shrouded in some kind of white, pale mesh, transparent, translucent material that's been ripped off, which remains at the toe box, and then when you start going back from the toe box into the quarterline area, you can see that rip effect, and then there's nothing all the way back to the heel of the sneaker, and then on the heel again that sort of mesh, transparent, translucent material is back there. It's got that rip effect. I don't know if they built it with that on and then ripped it off, or if they just put this bit around the edge on there. I'm sure that's probably more cost effective, and that's what they actually did. But the idea is the same as the Air Force Ones yesterday, that the surface is there, but then if you rip it off and look deeper inside and look below the surface, there's more going on. And that's the metaphor for yesterday's Air Force Ones, and it's the same metaphor for these Air Max 90s. And another similarity to yesterday's sneakers comes on the tongue and the insole, because you've got that branding on there, the BHM Black History Month branding on there, and the colours that are going on in the Black History Month colours. Now there's something odd going on. I'll start with the not odd part of this, and we'll work our way towards the odd part of this. With the lace stays on there, you can see they've got that standard kind of lace stay on there. There's a sort of ropey effect that comes up from the midfoot, and on each one of those lace stays or those eyelets, they have a colour line. It's a black, eyelet, can we call it an eyelet? And a colour line in the middle of each one, a different colour line in the middle, which is cool. I'm not saying it's not cool or anything, I'm saying it's very, very cool. But the unusual part about it is that this sneaker comes with, for me, a never been seen before lace shroud. Air Max 95's lace shroud not really something that you'd see going side by side, really, is it? And they give you, even stranger still, a Black History Month Sharpie to go with these, and then you can design that lace shroud, you know, with whatever you want to write on there, sign it yourself, or whatever you want to put on that lace shroud. So it's an odd design choice. I mean, LeBron 17s. Let's go with my favorite, the Harlem Fashion Row. Doing. That link will be there until the end of the video. That the Harlem Fashion Row, any LeBron 17 comes with this really cool lace shroud effect going on, and so that's a standard for that line. But for the Air Max 95s, I mean, I'd never seen lace shrouds before, and then having that Sharpie to go with them, it's like, not really sure what direction you're going with there, Nike. But you know, it's your shoe, so knock yourself out. I'll just nod and smile and say, yeah, go for it. So, but for me, it's a bit of an odd design choice. But the great thing about lace shrouds is you can just not use them. You can just leave them to the side and just have them sit there and not actually put them on the sneaker if you want to. So. But all in all, that's pretty much everything there is to say about this sneaker. It's very cool, very colourful, represents the Black History Month element very, very well. It's nowhere near as cool as the Nike Air Jordan 1 Dawn C Black History Month White. Which, like I say, is going to be in hand in a couple of days' time. Just a real clean sneaker. But these guys are hot. They're really cool. It's a great addition to the line this year. Yesterday was the Air Force Ones. Today the Air Max 95s, and then tomorrow we'll be coming in hot with the Converse that completes the set of sneakers. But for now, time for me to thank you guys for checking out my content. Hopefully you were able to find those different elements that link the Air Force Ones yesterday to the Air Max 95 today, and maybe you were ahead of the curve, ahead of me, on noticing that lateral medial tie-up between these sneakers. For now though, time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out my content, but because I do this every single day, that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.